Alright, I've got my frame assembled into a box. I've got the bottom in. It's really sturdy. Now I'm ready to cut out my cedar planks to go on the outside. I've got a little cross section of the cedar planks that I made. This is just 1x6 Western Red Cedar. I've ripped it down to the width that I need, and I put this little chamfer on here with my router. It's just a 45-degree chamfer bit. And when two of these made up to each other, it makes a nice V groove, which creates a really nice planked look. So that's what we're doing. Now I've got this cedar board up here. I've cut a 46-degree miter on it. My box is pretty square, but there's some little variances. It's rough cedar. So I went ahead and cut 46 to accommodate any variances and keep the front of my miters tight. Now this is an outdoor piece. It's not fine furniture. So as nice a job as you do on this, once you set it outside, it gets rained on, it dries out, it gets snowed on, it dries out. Gaps are gonna appear. And so you just gotta be all right with that and know this is outdoor furniture. So, I'm going 46, trying to keep the fronts tight. And so I've cut the first one. Now I need to measure. And you might be wondering, how do you measure a miter? And my box is 49 3/4, so I want to have 49 13/16 in between. That extra 16th gives me a 32nd on each end that hangs over just a little bit, so it helps the side piece miter come up and just fit real nicely there at the corners. So let me show you how I measure that. So I want to measure from the short point of this miter. This is the long point, the outside. This is the inside, the shortest point of the miter. But there's no good way to hook a tape on this. So what I do is use a real common method called burning an inch. So I actually line up the 1 inch mark. But first I just take my pencil and rub the side of the lead across that point of the miter. Darken it, just helps me see a little better. Line up exactly 1 inch on that. And then I'm going to add that inch to my final measurement. Alright, so I've burned my inch. I'm actually going to measure to 50 13/16. Mark my line. Now I don't want to flip this saw back and forth. So I'm going to leave it to cut the left-hand miter, and I'm going to cut a little bit past my mark, okay? About 2 inches past my mark. Then I'll come back, I'll flip this back over to the right side, and I'll cut the right-handed miters. All right, about 2 inches. Tighten the stop down, and we're ready to go. All right, time to flip the saw, make the right-handed cuts. "46 degrees. I've already got my mark. These are the slats that I just cut out, and I'm ready to put them onto the box. So let me show you how I do that. I want to get the miter lined up on one side. Put a screen clamp just to hold it there. Now I can check the other side. Put a spring clamp to hold that there. If I need to adjust it, I can move it back and forth a little bit. I'm going to use an 1 1/4 screw. This is a deck screw, exterior coated screw. 1 1/4. I can screw from the back and it won't come out the front. By blind screwing it like this, you won't see any fasteners on the outside, which looks nice, but also over time keeps that coating from wearing off and running down and staining the outside of your piece. So here we go. Put a screw at each of these points. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to put one down here. And as I go and continue to put the next planks on, I'll continue screwing through this. So this is a support for this, but also acts as a point to attach the planks from the back side. You can also see that we don't actually see the pocket holes because I've got them facing out that way, but they're going to get covered by the planks. So it's a pretty clean look for an outdoor project. Here's my side piece. It's got a miter cut at 46 also, but the end is just a butt joint. And it goes at the back, which is also butt jointed. And for this box, it's gonna go against a wall. So it's not gonna be seen, so there's no need to miter it. And when I hold this up here, I dry fit it, and I cut it about 1/8 inch longer than I needed. I'll just kind of line that up. Put my spring clamp on there. As you can see, I'll zoom up on this and you can see there's a little bit of a gap there. So you can see we're tight up here at the top, but we've got a little bit of a gap here. So we need to adjust. I'm going to take off whatever the distance is here in this gap. I'm going to remove that much from this top down to 0, down to nothing down here, and that should give us a good fit. Alright, so you can see my pencil mark here. That's how much I need to take off. A little over 1/16 down to nothing down here. And I've still got my blade set at 90 degrees, and sometimes with this rough sawn cedar, it's warped, so it doesn't always sit flat on the saw, which can make it cut out of square. So I'm just keeping my saw square here, and if I push this up to the blade, I've got some gap over here actually, and it looks like if I just start the blade here and keep it square, it's most likely going to take care of most of that. Yep, I'd say so. So we're going to slide it up to the tooth till it touches the tooth. Make sure I'm holding it flat, and let's make the trim. That's what we want. All right, let's try it out. All right, so when I push that into place, we've got a nice, clean, tight miter now, and that's what I'm looking for. To attach this, there's a little bit of high quality construction adhesive on the miter itself. That's to hold the miter together better. But I'm not going to put any glue here because this board is going to expand and contract along its width. And these can expand and contract together. I just want that miter to stay tight while they do so. So this is just a little bit of extra help here. And use a really good quality adhesive. You get what you pay for in adhesive. So again, I'm screwing it from behind, blind screwing it. Lined up. I'm going to use a trim head screw to go through the miter. Here's what a trim screw head looks like. It's got a real small head on it, so it just makes a real small entry. And I'm going to put one through the side. One through the front in the middle. And one through the side. That'll help that miter stay nice and tight. Here's what the back corner looks like. Got a butt joint cut here. These are the back boards. They also have a butt joint as well. And that's plenty good for the back side, especially since this goes against the wall. But if you've got a bench that's going to be sitting out in the open that can be seen from all sides, then go ahead and just miter it there like you did the fronts, and it'll look nice all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and blind screw that. Finally time to put the lid on this box and finish up this project. I want to show you the bottom of this, how I constructed this. It's got these battens screwed across it, and that holds this top together but allows it to move and helps to keep it flat. And this is the inside of the lid. So now I'm going to show you how the hinge goes on. I chose a piano hinge or a continuous arm hinge. This is a stainless steel one, so you've probably seen these. And the way it goes on is like this. This is my exterior, this is the top. So the knuckle is pointing that way. And you might be wondering, how do I get this oriented on here? And the easiest way is just to open up the hinge and fold it around to the top, just like that. So I've actually folded it to look like that. And that gets this knuckle right above the top edge there. Now I'm going to use a VIX bit, which is this. It's a drill bit that has a spring-loaded sleeve that slides back and reveals the drill bit, but it's chamfered around the end so it centers itself right in the screw hole. I'm only going down about a 1/16 of an inch because this particular bit is a little bit too wide, too wide a diameter for the screw I'm using, but the outside portion is perfect for centering in here. And I'm going to go ahead and get all these. I'm going to make sure that it is staying folded real tight to each surface. Once you get one in, it's a good idea to put a screw in just to hold it in position. Now I'm doing every other one because I'm going to take this off, I'm going to stain the whole thing and put it back on. And at that point I will put all of the screws in. I'm using stainless steel screws as well. I've got my clutch set pretty low because I don't want to strip out in this soft seat. Alright, now I'm going to get the back part of this that actually attaches to the box and show you how to put that on. Now it's going to go like this, but to get it spaced out properly, I have this shim of 1/4 inch plywood, which is actually a little under 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to use that as my sandwich here. My shim, so I'll just kind of hold this in place and put my handy spring clamp on there. I'm going to get it flushed up. That looks really good. put a clamp here in the middle as well. And we'll put one on the end for good measure. Same thing. Take the Vicks bit. This shim, by the way, is the width of these knuckles here from one leaf to the other side of the leaf. So whatever you have in your shop that will approximate that width for you will work. Attach it to the box now. Now you kind of see how this back part works. Just lays down here at the back, and I'm gonna flush it up at the back. Get my overhangs just right. Okay, that looks good. Good here. Okay, like it. Now all it's left to do is screw it down in the back. I'm just going to secure this end of it here. Couldn't be easier. I made sure to screw down into the frame, the internal frame, and not the cedar planks on the outside, because that frame is where all the strength is. Let's try it out. Oh yeah, very nice. My box is going to lean up against a brick wall, so I'm not going to put a stop on it, but you could put a chain or some kind of a stop here to hold the lid if you want. So now all that's left is I want to put a round over around here so that when anyone sits on here, it's nice and soft and no splinters. Can't forget the glasses. Alright, well it's ready for stain at this point, and I've got 3 of these. This is the left end, so this end is staying square because there'll be another lid that comes right up to this. But a little bit of sanding, be ready for stain. I hope you've enjoyed this project, and if you got any questions, you can leave them in the comments and I'll try and answer them the best I can. And I hope you have a successful and happy woodworking summer. See you.